Tis the season of gravel, everybody. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance back with another video, and today I have you guys this brand new 2022 Trek Checkpoint SLR7 E-Tap. Retailing this bike is $8,350. I don't have the exact weight yet because I left my scale at home, but I will get the weight and I'll put it down in the description below in the first comment if you guys want to check this out. This is a size 56, and this is a stock bike exactly how you'd buy it from their website. So absolutely beautiful. They did some additions to the 2022 compared to 2021 where they made the same kind of cables with the Amanda. They're actually throwing on, don't get it wrong, this is the stock handlebar and stem configuration comes on here, but they are going to run the hidden spacer on there to make it look a little bit cleaner. But the bike has some new features. We'll go over everything on there. We'll show you guys the components it comes with. I'll talk about the wheels because I believe these are new gravel wheels for this year as well. Talk about the ISO speed decoupler. Talk about the little storage box as well. Talk about all the different spots they have for storage for water bottle or backpacking, everything like that, and also the max width of tires and everything like that too. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to get one of these bikes compared to a Crux or their Diverge and kind of give you guys what's the best bang for your buck and similar price options. So hopefully later on down the road we can go that way. Real quick before we get into the video, big thanks to B&J Cycles for letting me do a video on this bike. They have this bike in stock. If you guys are looking for Trek product, go ahead and hit them up. They'll be down in the description as well. They seem to get a lot of Imandas, Madones, Domanis, Checkpoints, everything in stock very randomly, and they also sell right away. So if you guys are looking for a Trek bike, hit them up. They have a bunch of it. But I'm going to tell you guys these specifications before I forget. So max chainring size that you can put on this bike. For a double, it's a 50-37. And if it's Shimano, it's a 50-36. So for a double chainring, max size is a 50 tooth. For a single chainring tooth, it's going to be a 46 tooth chainring. That's the biggest you can go. Tire size compatibility you can put on here. The widest tire size you can put on here is going to be a 700 by 45. So 700 by 45. It can also be ridden 650B. The max tire size you can do that is a 650B by 2.1. So again, 700 by 45C is the max tire size. And whereas Specialized, just to give you guys a point of reference, their Crux and Diverge is 700 by 47. That's a really wide tire. A 2.1 is a really wide tire. I don't know if you ever need to do that, but if you're ever going to do some single track riding and you want to show off your handles, you have the option to. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the whole bike, and hopefully this bike does not fall over. So starting off with the handlebar, you can see we have a Bontrager aluminum handlebar in here with some gravel flare. A little bit more wide flare out to give you a little more comfortability. They also have on here their Bontrager XXX stem as well, full carbon stem, aluminum handlebar. Again, these cables are a little bit longer than normal because of the fact that they're going to change out the bar to swap on a more aero bar on there. But the cables run down underneath the bar, underneath the stem, and then into these 2 ports or 3 ports, depending on how many cables you have, right into here. You have the nice Trek logo on the front. We have the Bontrager tape, and then it comes with a SRAM Force Access Grupo. 12 gears in the rear, 2 in the front. I believe that the derailleur that comes on there is going to be the XLPR or XPLR. And the cassette is the 1044, but we'll talk more about that. So we have the Road SRAM Force Grupos, our shifters, and then with a different derailleur. Going down to the fork we have on here, like this little kind of green urban triangles, definitely gravel looking, but cool looking. And you can notice, you're gonna see on this bike, there's little bits and holes inside the carbon that you can put on panniers or bags or whatever you can add onto here. There's options to run a bunch of stuff on here. So you're gonna see a lot of these little mounting holes everywhere. Tires that come on this bike are going to be the GR1 team issue Bontrager tires. They have the skin wall side. Pretty, to be honest with you, not as aggressive I would think for a gravel bike, but these things are, I'm sure, very fast. It's a 700 by 40C tire that comes stock in here. And then these are the new Bontrager Eolus Pro 3V, which is our gravel rim. They said that the internal tire width is 25 millimeters. These are tubeless right now. And again, the max tire you can put on here is a 700 by 45. So these rims right here, the internal width of these are 25 millimeter, so a wider tire for sure to allow a wider width to allow a wider tire. And you can run it at a pretty low pressure as well. Max tire pressure on these tires are a 50 PSI. So keep that, I was gonna say keep that information to yourself. Keep that information to yourself. No, 700 by 40 tire, and max pressure is 50 PSI. We have bladed spokes, and then we have the Bontrager hub on here as well. And we can see this is already converted to tubeless, so the weight that I'll be giving you later on down the road will be with tubeless specs. Rotors that come on here, a SRAM Force 160 millimeter rotor with the SRAM flat top disc brake caliper right there, blah, blah, blah. And then we have the through axle that comes right here. We can see this nice, beautiful Trek logo going down the side. A gorgeous color, and actually, to be honest with you, we all know this. Trek makes really beautiful colors. They have a yellow in this color, or in this bike model, that looks insane. It's like a glossy yellow, but this matte black looks really, really clean, especially with the accents of the gum wall with the green, and then this bronze color right there. It looks really great. So, water bottle cage bolts here. Water bottle cage bolts here. You can also run another water bottle cage right here. Want to do a side-loaded water bottle mount? You can put a bento box here. You can put a bag, a storage bag, underneath right here. So there's a lot of different configurations. If you go to their website, they show you how this bike can be set up. You can put a travel bag for the rear, a front bag, 2 water bottles here. Also another spot underneath here for a water bottle as well if you wanted to. You can see the whole mounting holes right here. You have a frame protection as well, just in case you get in some crazy single track and you smash a rock into your down tube. That way it doesn't break. We have this little SWAT, well, not a SWAT storage box, but we have a storage box. So we're gonna open this up, pop out. You can have a tool inside here if you needed to adjust things on the trail, on the fly, on the go. We have a nice little kind of bag here to put inside a tube, to put inside your tools and whatever you need to, so that way it's not dangling around. So that way you wrap up your tools inside this bag. That way it's not flopping around while riding. And you're seeing more and more of these companies with these endurance bikes or these gravel bikes, they're utilizing the frame storage, the size of the frame, they're utilizing it. So this technology has been around for a long time. It's been through its kind of courses, and it has not failed. Okay, I'm not gonna say it has not failed yet, but I've seen them work really, really well. You have the Checkpoint logo right here on the top, which is kind of like a brazed a little bit and feels really nice. And then you have the ISOSpeed decoupler in the back right here as well. This is similar to like the Domani. A little bit more comfortable, more forgiveness. It's going to be a little bit more compliant with that in the background. This is going to give you a little bit give when riding. So if you're riding on a hard dirt, gravel, or kind of rocks, it's going to give you a little bit more of a comfort point. You have their same seat post that I always rave about in the past with their Mondas. That's one thing I'll always say about Trek that I do not like, but people seem to like it, and they hate me for saying I don't like it, but whatever it is. I just don't like it just looks weird to me. Whatever it is. But the bike looks hot as is. Again, we have the SLR 700 series OCLV, and then they make an SLR 9 as well, which is going to be a little bit nicer of a model. Assembled in the United States. Going down the crank side, we have a SRAM Force crank. It's a 172.5 crank arm with a power meter, so they actually include the power meter on there as well. And it's set up at 1x12, and they give you a 40 tooth in the front. Again, the max you can go on a 1x, you can go up to a 46, so if you want to change out and you're figuring you're not getting enough gear, you can change it out. You get a SRAM Force flat top chain, and then the rear they give you a 10x44 tooth cassette. Huge range. That's almost mountain bike. I mean, if you think about when 10 speed and 11 speed was out, I think like it used to be like a 1042. So this is more gear than what your mountain bikes used to have back in the day, which is absolutely insane. So you get a 10 tooth at the bottom, you get a 40 tooth in the front, and you get a 44 up top there, which is mind blowing. And then the derailleur in the back is a SRAM Force XPLR, like I said, so the max tooth they can take up to is a 44 tooth. So you are good to go. You're not gonna have any limitations there. If you did go to a bigger chain ring in the front, you would have to obviously get a bigger chain. I got Mickey Crocs on, and then we're going to the rear wheel. Again, same wheel as the rear. These are a Bontrager EOS Pro 3V. These are the gravel wheel. It looks almost like a 30mm depth wheel. God, this wind is crazy. It's like a hurricane out here. Again, we have these 700x40C tires, the gum wall sides, the GR1 team issue 700x40C tires. They are tubeless ready. And then listen to this hub real quick. Let me get close. My mic can pick it up. I'm gonna give you the free buy sound test at the end, but listen to this thing. It sounds crazy points of engagement. I was talking to one of my buddies who works over at B&J, and he said that they kind of upgraded these hubs on here, but it sounds nasty. Especially, you want those points of engagement for gravel riding, for any kind of climbing. They're going to give you that little bit more of a better climbing efficiency, so you're not going to have any dead spots while climbing. Big shout out to them. Again, we have these little Batier. You can see the ISOSpeed decoupler right there. And then going to this side, we have a 160mm rotor in the rear to match the front, so same size rotors. And then the SRAM Force caliper for the flat top as well. The Bontrager's through axle, which I think can be taken out to move to the front, so you can actually remove this tool to move it to the front. And then the bottom bracket updated for this one is going to be the T47. So this is their updated version. You're going to see a T47, the Yamonda, the Madone, everything like that. You got these cool little graphics right there. That looks cool. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that does look cool. You also have the option to make this mechanical if you wanted to. You can run a mechanical, you run a front derailleur on there. You can see on the other side, we have a front derailleur, a Brazon that's in the carbon. So very cool, and also a little chain stopper to make sure that if you're grinding out and you're putting out watts, you're not dropping your chain. But yeah, beautiful bike. A lot of features on it. Sorry for being so long and overly aggressive on speaking and yelling at you through your headphones, but just basically want to show off this bike and show off all the features. Carbon fiber rails that came with the saddle, Verse Pro, Bontrager, and that carbon rail does get included with this bike. I'm gonna lift up the belly of this beast, show you the bottom of it, to show you guys the bash guard and also the water bottle cages that can go into there as well. But very cool bike. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you guys think it's hot? Do you guys think it's not? Let me know what video you guys like to see me compare this to, the Crux or the Diverge. I'm thinking more of the Crux because it seems to be a little bit, this bike seems very, very light for what it is. If I had to guess before the video, me lifting it, I want to say like 18 pounds, maybe 17. It feels super light. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Stay tuned to after video where your free buy sound does on the bike. Thank you guys again so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so here comes a free buy sound test on this Bontrager rear wheel EOLux Pro 3V. Give me 1 second. This thing's super light. But you can hear, man, it sounds very nice for actually a gravel wheel. Very happy with it. It sounds like not too loud, not too thocky, kind of tingy, but the perfect mixture, and it sounds just like it's going to continue forever. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.